This is the teaching video for Math 10.4, and the learning target is to find the surface area of a triangular prism. In the last lesson, you found the surface area for a rectangular prism, and there was a formula to that. It was 2 times the length times the width, plus 2 times the length times the height, plus 2 times the width times the height. Okay, and there's a formula, and you found it. A rectangular prism is made up of a bunch of rectangles, and you just find the surface area of each of those rectangles, and you put them all together. Okay. Now, a triangular prism is similar. There's not really a formula to it, though. You have to kind of think it out and make sure you've covered all the faces. Make sure you've got the bases and the faces and all parts of the triangular prism, okay? Have a couple questions that I think will help guide us into making sure that we cover everything. The first one is, in a triangular prism, how many triangles are there? Okay, so I'm looking at, here's my prism. It's a triangular prism. The bases, like right here, here's one triangle. I have one triangle here, and let's see, that's a rectangle, rectangle, rectangle. Here is second triangle, okay? So on a triangular prism, all I have is two triangles. So part of finding the surface area is going to be figuring out the area of those two triangles. And because they're opposites, they're going to be the same. They're going to be the same. So once you find one, you just times it by 2, and you have both of those triangles. We know the area of a triangle is 1/2 times your base times your height. Oops, this one. There you go, there's my height. Okay. Now, once you get the surface area, the area for those two, then you have those two parts covered. But you still have a lot of area left. Now, I'm looking at how many rectangles. That's the next question. How many rectangles are there? So on this side, there's 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. So there's 3 rectangles. Now, those rectangles aren't necessarily the same size. They could be different. So don't just assume, okay, I'm going to find the rectangle, the area of one rectangle, and times it by 3. Don't do that. You got to find all of your measurements. It's almost like you're breaking it apart. So I'm going to have 5 sides, okay? I got 2 sides that are triangles and 3 that are rectangles. So I want to get all 5 of my numbers, add them all together, and then I know I've covered the whole surface area of the triangle. So let's do that with one here. I drew it on the board, and so I'm going to try and do this. This will be kind of tricky. So this is one triangle, okay? There's one triangle, but I know that I have 2 triangles. So on the other side is another triangle, okay? And those are the same size. It doesn't look like on this drawing because I'm not a great drawer of prisms, but they're the same size because this is 5 feet, this is 5 feet, this is 2 feet, this is 2 feet, okay? So they're the same size. So let's find those 2 triangles. We know that the area of a triangle, 1/2 times base times height. So area equals 1/2 times my base is 5 times my height is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 1/2 of 10 is 5. Okay, so this one triangle, I'm going to go like this. 1t equals 5 feet squared. Okay, and because this one's exactly the same, number 2 triangle equals 5 feet squared. Okay, so I have my 2 triangles. Now I got to find my 3 rectangles. Okay, and I am going to color those 3 in different colors. I'll do a blue, and a red, and a black. Okay, so let's find, one I see is right here. Oh, that didn't work. Let's do this green one. Okay. And it also goes behind this. Okay, so it goes all the way here, there, there, there. It's a rectangle, okay? So, I know this rectangle here, it's 5 feet by 4 feet. Five feet by 4 feet, okay? So the area of a rectangle is base times height, or length times width, either one, but it's 5 times 4. 5 times 4, area equals 20 feet squared. Okay, so that's one. We'll do it like 1, 2, 3. One rectangle equals 20 feet squared. Okay? Now let's switch gears. Let's go to red here. Now I'm going to go to this rectangle on the back side. Okay? And this one also goes all the way to here. But it's covered up by here. So this side here. And this is a 2 foot by whatever this is. Well, if this is 4 feet, this also is 4 feet. So it's a 2 by 4. 2 by 4. Okay. So this one, area equals base times height, or length times width. Area equals 2 times 4. Area equals 8 feet squared. Okay, so second rectangle equals 8 feet squared. Now, we have 4 of them, but we know we need 5. We have one more rectangle. Let's go black on this one. Now, this one is right here on the surface. It goes here, 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 here. If I would put this here, it would cover up a lot of this area. Okay, it's the rectangle right here. So, I know it's a 4 foot by 5.4 foot. Okay. Area equals base times height. The base is 4, and the height is 5.4. And that is, we can go over here, 5.4 times 4, that's 16, 21, and I gotta put my decimal in the right place. So, area equals 21.6 feet squared. So that's number 3 rectangle equals 21.6 feet squared. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken this triangle and I just looked at all the measurements that I have and made sure I carefully got every side of it. If they were a rectangle, I did the rectangle formula. If they were a triangle, I did the triangle formula. But I made sure I got every side. And I got all 5 sides. Now I just add them up. So I know 5 plus 5 is 10. 20 plus 8 is 28. And then I have this 21.6. I'm going to add all these up. I get 0.6. That's a 9. 59 feet. And it's surface area. So area is always squared. And we get 59.6 feet squared. Okay, so the key, and this is going to take some work and it's going to take a little time, and you got to concentrate, you got to stay focused, and you got to say, okay, I'm really going to think about this. I'm going to look at all the sides. I know what it looks like, and if you ever struggle, just you can come up and look at this one here and say, okay, yeah, I know I got this rectangle, this rectangle, this rectangle, and I have two triangles. The triangles I know are going to be the same, so I can find those, um, and then I just kind of double it. Now the rectangles, look at, I could not triple these. One was 20 feet, one was 8 feet, and one was 21.6 feet. I had to look at my measurements and made sure I covered each part of the triangular prism. Each rectangle needed its own measurement. Okay? So take your time with this stuff. With the rectangular prism, there's that formula. 2 times the 2 plus 2 times the other plus 2 times. This one, gonna take a little bit longer because you have to check off all your sides. And I made a little list here. I knew I had my 2 triangles here, 3 rectangles here. I could add them all up, and I was good to go. So take your time, watch the guided practice, open up your book, do it along with me, and we'll keep working on this stuff, and you'll get it. So, all right, let me know if you have any questions.